Hey everyone, I am TH Pine and welcome to Curvatron. What is Curvatron, you ask? I like to call it Snake's evil twin. It's available on Steam and this is what it looks like. So this is the most simple game I ever covered on this channel. The goal is to collect those collectibles with numbers on them and to grow your snake, so exactly like in Snake. The big difference is quite obvious. The snake is not going in straight lines, instead it's spinning in circles. It's a one-button game. You can press literally any button on your keyboard and they will all do the same. They will change the direction your snake is spinning in, from clockwise to counterclockwise and the other way around. And that's it. That's all there is. This is the classic mode. There are multiple game modes, so we'll go over them in a minute. In the classic game mode, your goal is just to collect as many collectibles as possible, and there will be power-ups, as you could see there on the screen for a moment. I did not get it because I wasn't quick enough, but there's actually a tactical decision to avoid them as well. Because every time you get a power-up, your snake length will be reduced to the starting length again, so very, very short, as you will see in a moment, because I'm trying to get this power-up. And at the same time, it will spawn obstacles on the screen, which you're not allowed to run into. So there's basically this tactical decision to make. Can I risk getting my snake a little longer? Or do I have to take the power-up to get shorter, but getting obstacles in my way for doing that, basically, as a price, if you so desire. And yeah, the goal is to get as many collectibles as possible without dying, obviously. So this is the classic mode, and I've died. Well, perfect timing, because that was everything I wanted to say about the classic mode. So let's switch out of this menu and go over the game mode. So there's the classic mode, I showed you that already. Then there's the ever-growing mode, which is kind of interesting. Nothing to collect here, but your snake will not stop growing, and it will just get longer and longer and longer and longer, and you have to try to survive as long as possible before you run into yourself. So fairly simple mode, but kind of an interesting challenge, because like you could follow different strategies to reach your goal, basically, and that was obviously pretty dumb by me, but I'm not good at this game. But I'm fairly engaged. I have to say I'm very surprised, because I usually don't like simple games like this, but this one is actually kind of cool. I kind of like it, and the reason for it is it plays with your instinct. It goes against what other games told you. What I mean with this is that you whenever, like in other games, whenever you're getting close to a wall, your instinct is to press a button to dodge to the left or right and not run into the wall. In this game, when you're running into a wall or getting close to a wall, then you probably don't want to press a button, because then you're spinning in circles, or not instantly at least, because then you're spinning in circles and can dodge the wall by not pressing anything. And this is really hard to learn, at least for me, and it did cost me a lot of time in the harder levels. This is the creative mode, nothing can go wrong here. It's basically for drawing, so if you want to draw with your spinning snake, this is the mode for you. Let's get out of this though, because I'm not very creative and I will not create good pictures with this. So the meat of the game is the adventure mode. I unlocked only the first 7 levels, so this means I did beat the first 6 levels, and this took me quite a while. I don't know. I think the first hard level was this one. No, not this one, actually. This one, not too hard. The first one was the double burger, what's it called? Burger dog. This did cost me, I think, 15 minutes to beat for the first time. And I'm surprised I actually tried for so long, but as I said, the game is surprisingly engaging to me. And it's frustrating as hell at the same time. And the adventure mode really tries to be a dick to you. Like, every time you learn a new skill, it will throw something new at you. So it doesn't give you a rest. The next level will just be harder and give you a new mechanic, or a new, not necessarily a new mechanic, because there are not lots of mechanics, but like a new way of making the game harder for you. So that was the first really hard level. Then let's try that again. The time I did beat that the first time, I was like, yes! Okay, let's see what the next level brings. And, well, the next level was kind of mean, because it had moving elements in it. So that's what I mean with the game tries to be a dick to you. So this has a moving element. It's actually not that hard. This level was easier than the other one. There's another mean thing in here. When you get to the last collectible over here, well, not the last, but the last but one, you have to go all the way back to get the last one. But as you can see, this level is not too hard, actually. You just have to Why did I say that? I have no idea why I said that. Let's get to the next level. This level was infuriating. I think it took me over 20 minutes, if not 30, to beat this. This is ridiculous. Like, it's obviously, it's not that hard, like, in theory. But when you try to beat it, it actually gets really mean because how the screen is split up. Like, there's no really hard maneuver in here except for the one this collectible. This is kind of hard to get, but it's not that ridiculous either because you have to get in here and then get out, and that's kind of a hard move to do. Boy, it's possible. The hard thing about this level is that you have to adjust to all the screen jumping all the time because you have to obviously warp from one edge of the screen to another edge of the screen all the time in this level, and this makes it very infuriating. I'm a little used to it now because I pressed twice for some reason. I don't know why. This is what I mean with this game goes against all instincts. Whenever I so often find myself pressing the button when I really should just not press it. For some reason, I could not really tell you why. I guess it's because what I learned in other games. It's my only theory behind that. But that's it. And this is the level I'm on right now. I did not try too much, actually, because I was kind of infuriated after I took 20 minutes for the level before that. So this has a lot of collectibles. Oops. But it has a new mechanic. You see the C up there. That's a checkpoint. You can collect that whenever you want. When you collect it, it will save the amount of collectibles you got at that time. So I could go up there now, and when I die, I will start with the number 9 again, or now the number 8. My life. And you will reset the checkpoint by leaving a level completely and going back in. And that's an interesting idea because it's kind of a risk-reward thing, similar to the power-up in the classic mode, actually, which is also a risk-reward thingy. Oh, god damn it. And this level is also hard to navigate because you have to navigate around the edges of the screen with walls on this other side of the screen quite a bit, as you could see there. So, yeah, this level is... As you can see, the levels get really tricky in a creative way without putting too many new mechanics in there. Like, there's not much. Okay, there are moving parts. Okay, there now is the checkpoint thingy. But that's it. Like... And it's still just by simple level design. Like, it's just a few lines on the screen. The game managed to create interesting levels. So the designer of this game actually is probably a very good level designer. Well, apparently, not probably. Like, it's very obvious that he is, because this game has amazing level design for a simple game like this. So that's really surprising to me. And really cool. So I'm trying to get this 8, but I'm probably gonna fail again. Oh, god damn it. Let's get out of here. Okay, so this is single player. Okay, I want to note really quick before we go to the multiplayer part that the game is actually, it's not a mobile port, but it has a mobile predecessor. So there's a game on Android, on iOS, and on the browser as well, actually, for free, which is just the, what is it? It's the classic game mode, the ever-growing game mode, and the different game mode, which is actually not in this game, where your snake is not going in circles, it's going in squares, which drives you nuts, by the way. It's even more weird than the usual mode. It doesn't have the adventure mode. It has a very simple multiplayer for 2 players, I think. It used to have ads, which you could turn off by paying for them, but the developer was just like, ah, screw them, let's turn off all the ads and just replace the microtransaction with the donate button. So you can donate if you want, but you don't have to. You can just play it for free. So I will link those versions, like the iOS, the Android, and the browser version, in the description below if you just want to try the game for free. And this is the Steam version, which costs a little bit more than $2. And it includes the adventure mode and multiplayer for up to 8 players. Unfortunately, only local multiplayer, so you cannot play this via LAN or over the internet, which is unfortunate, but you can play it with 8 players on 1 keyboard, which is totally doable. I'm pressing the wrong button, what am I doing? It's totally doable because it's 1 button per player, so it's not a big deal, and it even shows you the button on the screen, which is quite good. So you have multiple snakes, as you can see here. You can control them with different buttons. And the goal is to collect those orange blobs, which will increase the length of your snake. And the goal is to survive longer, to get as long as possible, basically. So whenever this circle in the background reaches the center, the game is over. Like, this is the timer, basically. And whoever is surviving at that point and has the longest snake wins. So, yeah, that's the goal of the multiplayer game mode. And it's a kind of cool mode. And as I said, on the mobile version, you can play it with 2 people. So that's cool as well. And, yeah, this is kind of funny. I would love this to be in the local in internet multiplayer. That would be great, online multiplayer, or at least over network, but preferably via internet. That would be kind of cool to play with friends. Like actually, this would be really cool to have like a real online multiplayer mode where you basically can create lobbies with all like with random people and just play with people on some servers or something. That would be kind of funny with random people. But I guess it's probably not worth the effort implementing, to be completely frank. It would be cool to have though. If you're not happy with all the content so far, there's even more content because there's a level editor, and the thing is connected to the Steam workshop, so I can go to community levels and go download new levels. You will not see this, but I have the Steam pop-up now on my screen and can download the level. Can we just download them and play them? I guess. Let's try, actually. So I downloaded one. Let's see if this pops up here now. How do I close this? Like this. Fetching levels. There we go. 2 levels. I just downloaded that. Okay. 2 checkpoints. It's called 3 labs, so I guess we have to go around 3 times. And I guess you're supposed to pick up 1 checkpoint every round. Doesn't seem to be too hard. But as you can see, yeah, there are user-generated levels, so that's cool as well. So if you're running out of content, yeah, this seems to be fairly easy. Well, but if I restart now, I restarted the checkpoint, so it's not a big deal that I died there. Ah, goddammit. Let's try again. No, that was dumb. That was dumb. This is, by the way, not as easy as it looks. I just played the game for 90 minutes already or something, so I'm a little used to the controls. But when you first start this game, it's very infuriating. At least it was for me. Maybe you're like really good at it, but I'm not. The level editor is pretty straightforward. You can just draw things and you can put in moving things if you want to, and change the starting position, have spawn the points, and test the level. And there's probably a checkpoint somewhere as well. Probably in here, maybe? No. Eraser, draw blocks, start position, checkpoint. No. Oh, that's a checkpoint. Wait, what? Oh yeah, those are the second. Like the first one is the start position. All the other ones are checkpoints. So this is pretty straightforward, very simple, and then you can just share it with other people. So that's cool. So let's get actually out of here, and let's take a look at the rest of the menu. So you have a stats screen here with your high scores for the classic mode, the ever-growing mode, your total deaths, your total clicks, and points. So that's kind of funny. And you have the settings menu, which is actually it's pretty okay. Like, it has music and sound effect on separate thingies, but it doesn't have sliders, which is unfortunate, so that's kind of annoying. I would prefer sliders here. I mean, you can control it over the Windows settings, but it would be better to have sliders here. You can switch between window mode and full screen. However, full screen is actually not full screen, it's borderless window, which is good because that means borderless window is not missing, and there's no real advantage for from full screen over a borderless window anyway, so that's okay. And you can turn on or off the cursor in-game, which is good because you don't need the cursor when you're in-game, obviously. And you can rebind all the keys for all the players, which is good as well, because if you want to play with multiple people, you can make it as comfortable as possible to be with 8 people on one keyboard. I guess 2 people could use the mouse. Wait, you can bind the mouse, right? I played with the mouse, at least, in the classic mode. Let's see if you can... Okay, apparently cannot for the multiplayer. Unfortunate. But in the single player, you can press any button, and that includes the mouse buttons. So... there we go, credits, and that's it. So that's the game, that's Curvatron. It's surprisingly fun. I did not expect to have such amount of fun with it, like, really. And I downloaded the mobile app on my phone, and I'm now gonna play this while I'm shitting, so this is great. This is amazing. I don't know, I really like it. It's a cool game. It's called Curvatron. It's available on Steam, and the predecessor of the game called Curvatron as well, by the way, but it's like a light version without the adventure mode, but it's completely free. It's available on iOS, Android, and in the browser as well. I will link it in the description below. I am TH Pine. Thanks a lot for watching. Have fun, and see you next time.